So they find it difficult to move fast.
Yeah. So would a camper, if a camper were asleep and they hadn't paid attention, if it got into a tent, God forbid, could they kill
No.
somebody?
No, not at all. No, they're hunting rats and mice and frogs.
Okay.
That's what they're after.
So humans are just too big for them.
Humans are a threat to them, so they would avoid us.
Yeah.
The danger with camping out here is the smell of food attracting bears.
Yeah.
And the deer would avoid you because they can smell you.
Yeah.
They would avoid you, but the bear would smell the food. So the simple precautions like you would in the States, where you store all food, absolutely all food, in the car or away from you, hanging from a tree, and you wash after you've eaten,
because of the
so
scent.
you don't smell of food.
Wow.
We can't smell it, but they can.
Yeah. I suppose they'd be attracted to fish as well.
Yes, any food.
Yeah.
Absolutely
but
anything.
they thrive on fish, don't they? Like river fish and things like that.
They do. I don't know how much fish they catch. I mean, there's a fish in the river here.
Yeah, because they catch
a lot
them.
of fish.
They catch them, don't they?
But they also eat a lot of berries.
Yes.
And things.
Well, that's what I noticed in the dung this morning.
Yes.
Was a lot of berries, and that's how I knew too.
Yeah.
Although the deer probably do feast on the berries and things as well.
But the deer will eat leaves as well. The deer will basically eat almost anything if
so
they're
it'll be
hungry.
more of a mix with the deer dung. I imagine.
Whereas the bears are actually very much now looking out for wild berries to eat.
Yeah. They're more or less fruitarian, aren't they, really?
Yes. I mean, they're not predators in the sense of going out to try and hunt meat. They will look for fish and catch it.
Yeah.
But they're not looking to eat they will never hunt a deer, a baby deer.
Yeah.
Though I suppose they may eat a dead one if they find one.
Yeah.
Yes, they will be opportunists.
Right.
They're omnivores.
Yes.
They're very much omnivores. I don't think there's a large forest animal in Japan which is only a carnivore. We used to have wolves.
Yeah.
I think 1920 odd was the last wolf sighting in Japan.
Right.
And they were, again, like the Japanese bears, they're smaller. So there have been reports of possible wolf sightings around Chichibu, which is a bit to the north of here. I would be more inclined to think that those are feral dogs that have escaped or been abandoned and are breeding and living in the wild.
Yeah.
Rather than, I can't see how a wolf population could have survived.
Right.
It's not plausible, whereas abandoned dogs are very plausible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you believe that you may quite possibly have come across a wild bear that was mirroring your behaviour.
Yes. Going out to, because we have to take the garbage to a collection hut, as everybody does. But here it's in an actual hut with a locked door so that animals can't get at the garbage that are attracted to the smell. I mean, again, normally raccoons would rip open the bags and see what they could get, and that would just make a mess.
Yeah.
But that time I walked out and it was after dark.
Yeah.
And I could hear a large animal in the trees next to the road following me in parallel to me walking down the road.
Yeah.
I was carrying a bag of garbage, which again, the smell of it could have well have attracted them. And I was automatically thinking, well, deer don't make a sound, really. They're as silent as they can be. And this close to a human, they would freeze.
Yeah.
And it was big, so it was much bigger than a raccoon dog.
Yeah. How could you tell? Was it just a heavy kind of sound?
Yeah. The sound and all the rustling as it moved and the occasional sound of it standing on something.
Wow. It was quite a heavy thud.
It was just the sheer movement. I mean, a raccoon dog is only about that big.
Yeah.
And it's low down, so it can move stealthily.
Yeah.
And they often move through the drains.
Oh, right.
They will pop up from a drain entrance, and they often live in the drains rather than moving in the open.
Wow.
So that
almost like a rat.
yes, yeah, they're scavengers, raccoon dogs. So what I thought might be the bear followed me almost to the garbage hut and wouldn't come any closer because there's a bright street light there. So then I turned around, put the garbage in, locked the door, turned around, and I walked slowly, more slowly than I normally would, back to the house, as far away from that side of the road as I could, next to the barrier, next to the river. Then when I turned onto the bridge, then I accelerated there. That I did not like that experience. As that convinced me it was probably bears.
Yeah.
Or a bear, rather.
Yeah. It was, they always say, don't they, you shouldn't run.
Yes,
So
exactly.
It was
Exactly.
good. It was good that you did that once you turned the corner.
Yes. I mean, when my sister and her husband were staying, they were walking up from the station one night in the dark.
Yeah.
And they heard a large animal.
Really?
And my sister's instinct was to run.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law's instinct was to move safely. I told my sister, look, you've just advertised yourself as dinner by running.
Yeah.
Because that tells the bear that you're frightened of it and you're running away.
Yeah.
So, yeah, don't run. Move slowly and calmly.
Yeah.
They're not huge animals, Asian black bears.
Yeah.
They're not grizzly bears, but they're still dangerous and they can still kill.
Yeah.
Like any large dog could. I mean, they're the size of a big dog, they're powerful, and they've got very strong jaws.
So would they just bite and claw you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would probably claw you down and then bite you or something like that.
Yes, yes.
And then I was reading last night about how to deal with black bear. So if I ever come back here, hopefully I will, and I'd love to, I'd like to see them, but obviously in a safe manner.
Yes. Well, you're more likely to meet them and deer or any of these animals at dusk.
At dusk, yeah.
In bright daylight now, they'd be hiding because they don't like being out in the open.
Yeah.
But basically, you move slowly. You make yourself look large.
Yeah.
I mean, you could move your arms up like that. And then particularly if you've got a down jacket on, that can make you look huge.
Right.
And that to them may then trigger them to think you're a huge bear.
Yeah. So something like what I'm wearing now would be all right.
Well, because you've got the baggy sleeves on the sweater as well.
Yeah.
It's the shape.
Yeah. And the internet, when I was researching last night, it was saying that you should move your arms slowly in the air. But
don't move quickly.
But not with a grizzly. But that's another story.
That's a different continent.
That's a different continent, a different story, different method altogether.
Yes.
But it's still wonderful that you're surrounded by nature here, and
it's great.
Yeah.
It's absolutely great. I mean, to be honest, because I've lived here 10 years, we're surrounded by enormous cedar trees.
Yeah.
And they're very, very tall.
Yeah.
But they've become like what I usually see every day. But when we get a dusting of snow, and that dusting falls on the cedar trees, all of the shapes of the individual trees pop out.
Wow, right.
And then I really see it.
Cool.
I will stand and stare then, because they've become individual trees rather than a forest.
Yeah. Yeah. That's incredible. I'd love to come back and see that, actually. So when does it start to snow around here?
Well, it's not dependable. I mean, basically, whenever you get snow in Tokyo, there'll be more here.
Okay. That's a good indicator then.
But it does tend to hang around here a lot more than Tokyo because it's colder.
Yeah.
And on the trees, a lot of them are in shade anyway, so the snow doesn't melt quickly.
Nice time to hike, but I guess I'm going to need some grips. Proper hiking boots.
Yes, you would need some proper hiking boots.
Yeah. But I'm up for the challenge, so maybe not on the ridge this time though.
Well, there's different ones you can try.
Yeah. But very interesting ridge hike. Very steep, but the views are spectacular around here. Yes,
they are. I mean, in winter again, the visibility is fantastic, so you can see all the way to Mount Fuji from the top. Summer is not just hot and sweaty, but the visibility is poor. It's cloudy and oppressive, so you can't see much.
Yeah.
But basically any time except the summer
Yeah.
is great.
Yeah.
But winter, from now all the way through till March, the visibility is crystal clear.
And I imagine you get more snakes in summer as well.
Yes. Though since I've cleared the garden, I've not seen snakes in our garden again. It's when I was creating the garden the first time.
Yeah.
I was disturbing their homes.
I'd still be freaked out if I saw a boa constrictor, though, I think.
I froze.
How long are they?
The one I saw would have been about 1.5 meters long. They're only about that thick, but
still pretty thick.
And it was pure white.
Oh.
Which I'm told is good luck.
Oh, okay. There you go then.
It's pure white snake.
Wow.
Hiding under a very big rock. I wanted to move it to dig that area, so I just levered it up, and it had been living under there.
Wow. And did it look aggressive?
It looked pissed off rather than aggressive, but it didn't come towards me to threaten me. It looked up, raised its head, looked at me. I froze, and then it kind of moved off.
Right, very interesting. And white's the usual colour of them, is it? Or
it's not so common.
Right.
It's not so common. That's why I think they're regarded as lucky.
Right.
A lucky white snake.
Wow.
When you see snakes on the prayer tablets at temples or shrines, the Emma, those snakes will be painted white.
Oh wow!
Because those are lucky ones.
Oh, that's incredibly nice for you to have seen that then. So it's like a
there is a year of the snake.
Yeah.
In the calendar. So yeah.
And that's connected to the white one.
Yes. Yes.
Well, thank you for your time, Stuart.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Stuart is a fountain of knowledge, and I've thoroughly enjoyed our conversations during